Hey there, gals and ghouls. Welcome back to Project Edge 2D. I'm Inofin, and we got some more story to go through. Now, if you remember last time, we went to hunt down that merchant. Unfortunately, he got killed by an assassin in white. So, Swift has a message for you from General Rubon. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you return. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries, as well as the results of your own investigation. Master has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. That guy, yeah. Alright. So, off to the royal chambers then. To further the story. Oh, this place used to have an elevator. I don't know if it's still around or not, but yeah, a little runabout won't hurt us. Guess we got some others doing story work. We have been expecting you, sir. Please proceed inside. Nice.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us.
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the Calamity claimed it was... Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Allagan ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Allagan ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Allagan monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima Weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima Weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima Weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima Weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides. which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Ulda.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
It was bad enough with Ultima. Now there's going to be an Omega? Yikes. That does not provide any form of comfort. Recent revelations weigh heavily on its mind. Yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff. We should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all of this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intend to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. Fortunately, you are already well positioned to do so, Lieutenant Windblade. Pray keep us informed of any developments in Cortana. Begone, whelp. This is no place for children. Oh, it's Ellie. I was looking for you, mister. People said you were looking for the man who left my parents. You know this girl? Yeah, I ran into her. Looking. So he visited Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with them? They were not, I am afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course, but first I must needs finish speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by the pillar over there? We require but a moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Modine will know what to do. Sigh, legion of garlands, an ether-starred primal, even dealing with it would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Melfina is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats that, as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Melfin, this is Melfina. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Reverend Soul with all due haste. The situation in Twelveswood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once your arrival. Twelveswood, then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Ixal activity which leaves the Sylphs. Go, Innofin. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. Wonder where his sister is. Kind of curious on that, to be honest. What happened to her? Wind up gentleman? Huh. Alright, so we gotta travel back to Revenant's Toll. Yes, hi Jensen. Hi Jensen, buddy. Where's your toy, huh? What'd you do with your toy? What'd you do with your toy? Oh, there it is. There, got it. Okay. Gotta make the children happy. Got two very happy ones. One sitting comfortably behind me and one sitting in my lap. We're gonna have to put the ball down. Put the ball down, Jensen. Come on. Put it down. There you go. Goof. Alright. Oop. Wrong way. Okay. At some point I'm going to have to start working on my other classes that I got up to 50 and start getting their Zodiac weapons and Ultima weapons and all that jazz. Of course, that's going to take me a while. Get all the seals and soldiery and all that other good stuff. Yes, I wish to enter into the solar. Serpent Herald. It is a relief to see you healthy and hale, Enelfin. The latest news from Ulda was most disturbing. You've no idea. Clearly, the only injury he suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. Yep. Alfina wishes to discuss the latest threat to arise in the Black Shroud. Let's see. Pineapple and sandwiches. Yes. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business then. I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the Primal Ruma. I'm sorry, may have? Then it is not certain? The Elder Seedseer informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return into the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, but the fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more belligerent compeers, Gruda and so on, Ruma is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for the summoning ritual were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon. You foresaw this eventuality and did not to prevent it? I told her. I suppose I could have reported things to Melfina earlier, but there wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ruma once right after the calamity, but that was because the Garlands came trampling through the forest. And so long as Castor Ora stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Yuta and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Uldo drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion, and quicken their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for Primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Aurorsia would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be it that is as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Innocent, through your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing the untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ruma can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the beastmen since time immemorial. But mayhap this time we can. Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most afflicted by Ruma's presence. The Elder Cecil has requested your personal involvement, Enofin. Pray report to Commander Helix at the Adder's Nest as soon as you're able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Eleven will prove less than accommodating. In such an event, your fellow Scions will, of course, lend you whatever support you require. So, I am to soon face the god of thunder and lightning. Yes, Jensen. Silly dogs, silly dogs. Back to my home city, Gridania. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Alright, wrong way. Alright. I'm home. Oh, there he is. If y'all excuse me and not play cards with them, I need to speak with him. Lieutenant Windblade, your arrival has been most anticipated. the appearance of a primal is ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The elder Cecil, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than material skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to the altar, and the conjurer and attendants will admit you to the lotus stand. Okie dokie. And off I go. Silent Conjurer, I need you to take me to your leader. Whoa, everybody's here.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the Sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelveswood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks. Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelveswood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Lovely doubly. Alright, so alright. So off to the East Shroud. Bye-bye. Oh, I kind of hope this will end peacefully, but experience tells me otherwise. Alright. Let's go, Windstorm. Gotta get going. Right. Lieutenant Windblade, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ruma himself. Ramon? And a task, and one that shall be made all the more difficult by the interference of the touched sylphs. With the aid of the Scions and the inhabitants of Little Solace, the Order of the Twin Adder will enter the Sylph land and do what we can be done to clear your path. I shall brief you on the impending operation once you are satisfied with your preparations. Let's see, spells, skill, speed, vitality. I'll take that. Alright, and I will leave it there. So I will see you, gals and ghouls, in the next videos. Ciao.